What's up, chat? Oh, you can't judge me. I'm entering a new phase of screaming. You don't understand the artistic progression I'm making in my Coomer screams. I can and I will. There really is no way to stop people from judging other people, by the way. I know this because I go to Planet Fitness, and if anyone in America, I don't think Euros understand this, but America has this fitness chain called Planet Fitness, which is its largest fitness chain, and it's entirely built around the concept of luring fat and unhealthy people to join, and then have them just sort of forget about their membership and pay the fitness chain money forever in perpetuity. And in order to make all these, you know, unathletic people feel welcome, they have this whole franchise-based interior decoration structure built around telling people that they have value and stuff like that. And the word that they really like is judge. They're like, they have this big thing called a lunk alarm near the weights that they're supposed to activate when somebody drops a weight or something. And there's a giant definition of lunk in Planet Fitness that says somebody who drops weights, grunts, or judges. And I'm 100% sure that they added the term judge onto the end because they have the concept of judging everywhere. They have the word judge everywhere about how people won't judge you, blah, blah, blah. They don't have scales to judge your own weight, basically, because they don't want you to feel bad about the fact that you're grossly obese. Human beings are very judgmental. The only way to stop people from judging you is to either be completely nondescript in a way that nobody cares about you, or to install mind control devices and eliminate free will from people's brains. So the only judge I'll allow is Judge Holden. The only judge I'll allow is Judge Dredd. I am the law! I am the law! Just take Ozempic, bro. I like how there's so many fat fucks in America that when they finally found a drug that actually reduces your weight by some amount, it's in so high demand that people are buying fake Ozempic from like back alley drug dealers, and people are buying, you know, fake Ozempic and dying and stuff like that. The whole thing is insane. If this was Japan, the number of people who would need Ozempic would be like 1 out of 300 people. Whereas in America, it's like 60% of the population. I just want to watch Dredd now. The Stallone version, I assume. Although, the remake wasn't that bad either. If we're going by like modern remakes. It could have been worse. Saludos from Chile. I hope you're enjoying, like, cold weather in your winter season, because I think there's a lot of people in the northern hemisphere who would really like to be in winter right now, including myself. The remake has a scene where the girl gets fucked so. Are you talking about the psychic girl getting mind fucked? And then it turns out that she's the one who's mind fucking him. I saw the movie. I'm freezing, LMAO. It's actually not horribly hot in my location at the moment, but I'd still prefer to be in winter at this point. It didn't get cool in my area until mid-October last year. Welcome to the next age of global warming. We're all fucked. Soon winter will not exist and it will just be autumn. I mean, it depends where you live. What's gonna happen is that you'll just have like abnormally warm weeks or abnormally warm or abnormally cool weeks and shit. It's just gonna like jump back and forth. It's not just going to be, like, consistently warm, unless you're living in a horrible place like Texas. I don't know. When you're warm, I can hear it in your voice. Yeah, it's actually not that bad today. It could be much worse. I feel okay at the moment. A friend of mine back in Louisiana said it was 90 degrees at 8 p.m. Yeah. I say I want to move to Japan, but I don't want to fucking move to Tokyo. They have the heat island going on. If I'm moving to Japan, I'm only moving to, like, someplace in the north, like Hokkaido. Someplace that gets 6 feet of snow during the winter. Fuck living in Tokyo. I'm thinking about Sendai or something. Northern cities. Although, to be honest, if I'm gonna attach myself to my mother and move back when she moves back to Japan, I'll probably just end up moving to where she is. Unlike my shitty 100-year American house that I live in, most Japanese houses have proper air conditioning, so I'll just sit inside all day during summer and never leave the house, and then the summer problem will be solved. Starbucks bossa music. The feeling of sitting in an overpriced coffee shop, wasting your money. Not Okinawa with the tan cuties. If I want to have sex, Okinawa is probably the one place in which... Well, people are having sex in Japan, they're just not having kids. Okinawa is one of the few places where they're actually having kids. It's basically a third world country that is technically part of Japan. But no, I don't want to live in Okinawa because I don't want to have kids, so no. Who wants $5 egg bites? I haven't been in a Starbucks, I don't know, since... I can't remember when the last time I've ever been in a Starbucks. I just don't go to expensive coffee shops or coffee shops in general. I don't... Being an Asperger-y person, I don't understand the concept of being like, oh, I need to focus and work on my screenplay or something. I need to go to a place where there's overpriced coffee and a bunch of people to annoy me. I need to go to a place where there's no people if I want to work, so I really don't have any reason to go to a coffee shop. I definitely don't have any reason to buy coffee that's extremely overpriced. I don't care if my coffee doesn't taste high quality. I just want it to be black and bitter, just like me and my soul. I like my coffee like I like my personality. Dark, bitter, cheap, cold, meaningless. Yeah. Go to a coffee shop and work on your manga in the open. No, I'm gonna go to a coffee shop and, like, be sketching stuff, and then, when the alt hipster girl walks up and is like, what are you drawing? I'll be like, I'd like to draw you. And then, get in her panties, Leonardo DiCaprio, Titanic style. Wait until she asks me to draw her like my French horrors or whatever they did in that movie. Honestly, there's nothing I hate more in life when I'm drawing and someone's like, "Oh my god, you're so good." I hate anybody who comes up and compliments me when I'm alone, but when it comes to my artistic endeavors, it's like 100 times worse. It's just like, I'm just be like, haha, thanks. Holy shit, get the fuck out of my space. I only had coffee once. It was a child and didn't like it. I thought it would be like hot cocoa, but it just tasted like bitter water. Yeah, I like bitter stuff. Which apparently is a sign of being a sociopath, so... makes sense. Sure, that happens, Copium. If you're even a mid-tier artist and you're sketching in public, people will definitely come up to you and try and converse with you. 100% that shit happens. At least in America. Maybe not in Japan, but in America that definitely happens. It's fucking insufferable. I mean, people fucking try and talk to me when I'm jogging. You don't think they're gonna try and talk to me if I have a sketchbook open? If I'm fucking jogging in America, people are like, "Oh, look, he's jogging! You go, bro! Keep on running!" I'm just like, oh my god, get the fuck out of me. Ugh. It happens, it's annoying, yeah. Which is, so I was assuming that if people are gonna talk to me to begin with, I may as well use it to my advantage. And hope I can, you know, romance somebody in the process. Not that I'm ever going to actually do that. Have you ever got asked by an organization to make art for them? Yeah, kind of. I mean, depends what you call an organization. I was getting people asking money for, asking to buy my artwork as early as, like, high school. Like, I went to an artsy-fartsy high school, and they had a silkscreen printing course. And I used that opportunity to make a tie-dye silkscreen of, with the infamous Che Guevara revolutionary image of him. And the Spanish teacher was like, "I'll buy that for $40 off of you," or something like that. And I was like, "Nah, that's okay." So yeah, people have been asking for my artwork for money from a very early time period, I guess. I think that was the earliest point, but then obviously, you know, we have internet shit. I was a very persistent child and demanded that I drink what my mom was drinking. She drank hers black and now I do the same. I feel like if coffee isn't bitter, it doesn't give me the experience I'm looking for. People who don't know about Guevara love Guevara? Yes. I mean, it's just like, you know, it's like the fucking Obama poster as well. It's just a catchy shit to put on your room, you know? How do you feel about Venezuela, bud? I can't believe that Nicolas Maduro won the election. It's shocking. I thought he was unpopular. How could this happen? Perhaps something was incorrect with the election vote counting process? No. That cannot be. Impossible. I think I might have to start giving her a black tank top instead of white. I like dark roasts. I don't really care about my coffee quality. I'm like the opposite of my father. My father is a coffee and wine guy, and he spends way too much time caring about that shit. He also can't get up without caffeine, so... I think I inherited a lot of stuff from my father's genetics, but I did not inherit his need for caffeine or wine. What does Zana smell like? Serious answers only. Like spice and like musky perfume, I guess, and poison. Chlorine, I don't know. Make the couch black, maybe? Yeah, but I think I'm gonna need the blackness of a black tank top going forward. I just think I'm gonna need it. This is my my instincts is telling me. Just draw her topless or close to topless, Booba. That's not how it works. The page needs a balance of black, gray, and white, and I don't have enough black right now. So I'm trying to figure out how to add black. Every time you ask for Xana to be topless, she's gonna get flatter. Just remember that. She's currently a B cup, but I'm gonna push her down to an A if you don't shut up. Honestly, girl nips are pretty cool. God damn it. I fucking hate my horny ass audience. I wish I had pure maidens only in this chat, who when I talk about nipples and stuff would say ow ow ow, ow and get all blushy. Kawaii. Only anime girlfriends are allowed to be my fans. Only boy maidens in this chat? Yeah, unfortunately. Apparently there's some women, but they're not pure maidens. I can tell. I can tell that none of the females in chat would be like, Ano, BaalBud I senpai, I made obento for you. Please eat it. Not a maiden, just a man from Ram Ranch. Am I allowed to play Ram Ranch? People keep on asking me to play Ram Ranch, but I'm not sure if that's okay in going to Twitch guidelines. Seems like it would get me in trouble, although I'd certainly play a lot of gachi. I came to thank you for your content on YouTube. 10 out of 10. It's funny how quickly time passes. My first video was about the Virgin Knight. I'm still waiting for the story with the goblin fucker to finish. English is not my first language. Sorry for the spelling mistakes. A hug from Central Western region of Brazil. Thank you. My mother was just asking about what happened in the Brazilian elections. And I was like, you're thinking of Venezuela, so... She has a PhD, by the way. I was just like, Jesus Christ, Mom. I've watched some streamers play the whole thing, even having it as a sound redub. Fine, I'll play Ram Ranch. I'd totally make you a bento. I just put everything you hate in it just to mess with you. I don't think you know enough me to truly put everything I hate in it, but you probably know enough things that it would be completely inedible, which would not be fun, of course. Close enough for an American. Pretty much every country that's south of Texas in America is just Mexico. They're just like, goddamn Mexicans taking our jobs. They'll be like, that's a penguin. That's for that Mexican is from Antarctica. They're like, still Mexican. Still Mexican. If you're a good artist, I'll put in things you like in it. Bro, stop threatening me with a fictional bento you're gonna make for me. Jesus. It's actually not hard to make a bento that I will absolutely despise. It would be like a combination of hard-boiled eggs, mushrooms, various forms of fish, smelly fish, things that take a lot of work to eat, that you have to like shell and stuff. I don't like shit that takes a lot of work. For dessert, it would be an oatmeal cookie, I guess. Fun. Has your mom hopped on the Harris hype train yet? She doesn't really fall in love with liberal candidates, despite her political opinions generally being whatever MSNBC is shilling and stuff like that. So she isn't like hyper excited for her, but I think she's in the same range that most Democratic voters are, which is at least it's not Biden. I think everybody's too resigned to the fact that there's a pretty high chance that Trump is going to win to truly be excited about Harris. But you know, it's a start, I guess. Don't cry because it's Jover. Smile because Kamala happened. She's okay. She has the same superpower that Biden has, and that people don't actually give a fuck about her. They're trying really hard to hate her, just like they were trying really hard to hate Biden, but she doesn't really have enough personality to be actually interesting. I mean, I'd literally vote for Voldemort over Trump at this point, so it's not pretty hard. It's not that hard to get my vote. I wonder if one of her ancestors was a horse. She doesn't even have that much of a horse face. Unless you're talking about the sounds she makes when she laughs and stuff. She's just like a really standard upper middle-aged cringe mother-like woman. I don't think she's particularly remarkable in many ways. Vote for Mr. Beast when he runs next decade. Can someone talk to me about the Mr. Beast scandal? Was it one of his mods or something? I don't understand. Or his crew or some shit like that. Who was getting caught doing no-no things. The standard grooming minors trap. Everybody likes you until they find out that you've been trying to convince 5-year-olds on Discord to send you nudes, and then they suddenly hate you for some reason. I wonder why. It doesn't make any sense. How could this be? Essentially, he tried to circumvent hiring union IATSE workers, and people are getting hurt on his Squid Game ripoff. One of his friends is trans and is also a groomer, allegedly. Are these both about Mr. Beast at the same time? Does he have like a labor issue and a part of his labor is grooming people issue? Not that I really care. I still stand with the Dr. Disrespect. Hashtag justice for the doc. Hell yeah, boys. Force and CD. Somehow Shadman got in the mix. Yeah, I heard that. Me being an artist, people were like, oh, they had a framed picture by Shadman or something. I was like, who the fuck wants a framed picture of Shadman art? This person should be arrested for having bad taste. Dicks out for Doc? I know, right? I tried watching Dr. Disrespect streaming for like, I don't know, 20 seconds before I was like, this isn't for me. He's basically in the same category as all of the other loud equals funny streamers. He's a slight variation on that, if you ask me. I'm sure most of his audience is like 13-year-olds, so they probably don't think it's a big deal that he was trying to fuck a 17-year-old. I don't know. Never understood how that guy got popular. I don't understand how any of the people that are popular at like the top on YouTube or Twitch or anything got popular. Especially all the mid VTuber girls. We're just like, hee hee, guys, I'm a girl, except I'm an anime character. Pokemon 2. That girl mid as fuck. If she wasn't making money off the internet, and it was like 30 years ago, she would be described using the adjective plain. Because they are loud and spread fast amongst middle schooler viewership. True. Honestly, if you look back at what you were enjoying when you were in middle school as well, you'd be like, why was I enjoying that so much? Becky, yeah, I think Pokimane is the very example of a Becky. Everything about her is like, damn, that's a Becky right there. Except in the modern day and age, after you lose your boyfriend to Stacy, Becky can now go make $1 billion on the internet by pretending that she's the girl next door to lonely anime weebs online. What a time to be alive. Pokimane is kind of funny in the fact that she worked with Michael Reeves, so she's like a background character in his dumbass videos. I don't know who Michael Reeves is. I know that she owns or bought some part of Evo or something. So if you want to enjoy your FGC content, then you're also getting some sort of Pokimane product. I wonder if we'll look back at this age and be like, yes, the e-thoughts of the 2020s were like historical courtesans when a high-class prostitute wouldn't necessarily have sex. They would provide entertainment to the people of the Japanese capital of Edo. They were like idols. And even meeting them was a lot of work. That's sort of what it reminds me of. At their core, they're basically prostitutes in terms of how they work for men's brains. But once you get to a certain level of prostitute or e-thought, you don't actually have to have sex because you have so much value that actually, if you actually sell your sex, then you're lowering your value. Didn't Poke sell her vagina beer? Was that some other hoe? Who knows? There's so many of them, I can't keep track. E-thoughts are the oirans of our time? That's what I'm thinking. Because oirans they do all these games and stuff, they'd be well read. They would be able to keep conversation and shit. At its core, the basic appeal is the sex appeal, but you don't actually get to have sex with them most of the time. Similarly, you don't actually ever get to see Pokimane's feet. No matter how hard you ask. They're a big reason why the internet is dead. I mean, I wouldn't say that e-thoughts are a big reason why the internet is dead. There's many more problems like your uncle being on Facebook and shit. A whole ass retinue wherever they go. Yeah, that's the same as well. You're right. Fake girlfriend? Exactly. Men would rather pretend that they have the ultimate female that they don't actually get to fuck than actually fuck the 2 out of 10 that's available to them. Actually, that's not true. There's a lot of guys who would do both. I think the conclusion that we can find from this is men just think with their dick. And they can't be trusted to not think with their dick. And there's endless business opportunities based on that. Internet is shit because Megacorps took over? Yeah, that's basically the much more of a reason than e-thoughts. I mean, just look at Tumblr. Some of you might have forgotten, but I used to be a Tumblr artist. How is Tumblr doing right now? Oh, that's right. They fucking nuked the entire site because it was easier for them to just nuke it instead of cleaning up all their child porn. Good job, Yahoo, or whoever owns Tumblr at this point. Everything that was cool or edgy about the internet is now owned by a gigantic megacorp that is trying to figure out how to monetize the entire system. God, that was a time. Tumblr, Omega Lol, the great exodus of 2017. I looked up on the traffic that Tumblr still has, and it's pretty shockingly high. I thought it would be like 1/10 of what it used to be, but it's still at like 50% of what it used to be at least. There's enough Fujoshi Sherlock fans or whatever that are still on it to keep it chugging along, even without 10,000 pornography pages, so... All SFM animators like Fugtrup used to have Tumblr, right? It was a really good job for a good location to put your SFM animations. I followed a lot of SFM Overwatch porn creators back in the day on Tumblr. And a lot of them quit their craft after a while. They weren't able to survive the death of Tumblr. It's kind of sad, really. It's still very big with Fujo fan bases. They roleplay and write fanfics on there. There needs to be some location where the Fujos can congregate, where they plan their next terrorist attack on the Voltron animators who have ignored their requests for the correct shipping. Please understand, it's perfectly normal to send death threats to an animation company if the right guys aren't kissing the right guys, you know? Astarion alone is running Tumblr last I saw. I hate Fujo so much it's unreal. Don't worry. You don't actually have to see them. They're hiding online most of the time. It's funny that the kind of people that shit on a lot of the porn are the same people that flocked to Twitter when the porn artist left. Were there people shitting on porn? I feel like shitting on porn is just it's a huge red flag to people's personalities. I don't trust anybody who's like, I don't masturbate or I don't look at porn. Or I've never looked at porn and stuff like that. That's a huge red flag in my mind. I assume there's something deeply fucked up about you if you say that. The bad kind of porn? You mean literally illegal child pornography? That stuff is literally illegal, so it's up to the Tumblr management to properly have some sort of system to clean that shit up. It's not on the user's fault if there's people using Tumblr as a platform to trade child porn. And yet, Tumblr is like, now we have to nuke everything. Which is why everyone left. Xana in this panel, LOL. I like women who are mean. I don't need anime girls who are nice 99% of the time. People are only real if they have some nastiness on display. You seek a woman like your mean mother, not like her. Unfortunately, my mother is way too close to me. What I don't want is a passive-aggressive person who expects me to be able to read their situation based on non-audio cues and stuff like that. As someone with Asperger's, If it's the kind of person that isn't gonna get angry, even if they're angry and just like hold it up inside, and then just like one day divorce me and shit, then I'll never be able to have a relationship with them. Obviously, I'm not getting married to begin with, so it's kind of a moot point, but you know what I mean. People who expect me to be just like checking their emotional well-being and maintaining their emotional well-being like they're some sort of exotic plant or something. You can fuck off. If you have a problem, tell me, and I might or might not adjust my behavior, but don't expect me to be like, oh, I hope my wife is doing okay. What's a relationship? A woman without psychological warfare? You ask too much. That's why I'm drawing manga where there's these square boxes that are the personal monologue of the person who's speaking, as in I know exactly what the character is thinking on their internal side, so I don't have to wonder what's going on. I've solved my own problem by creating fictional characters in which I 100% know what they're thinking. It makes life a lot easier. God, it's almost 3 p.m. and I'm only now close to done cutting grass, and I have to wash last night's dishes afterwards. Yeah, I have to wash the dishes myself. I already washed them, but, you know, if my mother cooks, that means I have to wash the dishes. It's a horrible slave labor system. I can't believe me, a man, would be forced to do any kind of housework, but unfortunately it is. Do you do it by hand? We have a dishwasher installed, but neither of us use it. We always just do it by hand. It's a manual type of household. I feel like setting up the dishwasher and making sure like all the gunk is removed from the plates just makes it easier if you just do it by hand. Because you can't just like put it right in, right? You can't just like have a plate that has a few pieces of food stuck on it. You can't just like stick it in the dishwasher and you're done, right? Don't you have to like wash it first to make sure it's clean and then put it in the dishwasher? Doing housework would be fine if I lived alone. My aunt never washed the dishes. She always used a dishwasher. The dishes were never fully clean. Yeah, I don't... We have a expensive dishwasher installed in the kitchen, and we've only used it like 2 or 3 times since it was installed. Apparently it's good because it uses like super hot water, so that's good for cleaning the dishes, but you still have to like wipe the dishes first, I think, is how it works. You're supposed to rinse or soak it, so you have like a giant tub of soapy water available, and then you dump the dishes in the tub, and then you take them out and put them in the dishwasher. I don't know, man. Ultimately, whatever my mother wants is what's gonna happen, so if she's not psyched up about using the dishwasher, then it's never gonna get used. Why still live with your mother when you could be a hobo instead? Yes, and live in boxcars, traveling the country as a hobo, sitting in trains and stuff like that. Feels good, man. The life on the road, finally be free. Just buy an RV easy. There's nothing I love more than being fucking white trash and having to stop my RV in RV parks and getting mauled by whoever's shitty dog. Sounds like so much fun. Yuru Campu Solo. When are people gonna realize that camping is a really, really bad idea? I think it should be pretty obvious at this point, and yet they don't notice that. Go live the emergence lifestyle. Yeah. Sorry, don't do drugs. Never gonna have sex. I despise being around other people. Camping is fine if you come prepared and don't choose a shitty time to do it. How about you just don't camp in the first place? Why do you even have to camp? What's the point? I did enough camping as a child to understand that nothing actually is achieved out of camping. You're just going outside and sleeping. Except you're not actually sleeping outside, you're sleeping in a fucking tent. So why are you choosing to bring your shelter with you to slightly experience the outdoors but not really experience the outdoors? It's all very silly. The entire reason we have a house is so we don't have to do that stuff. You don't actually want to experience the outdoors, guys. It's called dying of hypothermia. That shit is stupid. Because I can enjoy being alone with nature. Nature doesn't enjoy you being there. It's gonna come and eat your food. The bear is like, nice. Someone brought food for me. It's more emotional than logically. The Asperger boy does not compute. I do not understand this human behavior. Yes, no, I understand why people like it on an emotional level. I'm just saying that we have to stop letting our stupid emotionals determine our actions. We have to act rationally. I will force it, endure my presence. I mean, the mountain lion is gonna be like, cool. I sure enjoy eating human flesh. Campers have every household items twice because you need the camping variant. They probably have multiple versions of the camping variant because, like, some parts of it broke or a newer, more expensive one came out. It's just one of those expensive hobbies that achieves nothing. That if you just understand what kind of brain parts are being activated by camping, you can try and activate those brain parts on your own without driving out into the middle of nowhere. You're not proving anything. Just get cast iron problem solved? No, but I need the expensive new camping shit. Mountain lions, good thing I always carry my 12 gauge K-Kona. So that would be hunting, not camping. And hunting actually has an end result in which you have a dead animal that you can take back and eat or stuff and put it on your wall or whatever. Use as an own a hole. Camping, you're just there. You're just there and you're like, God damn, it feels good to be part of the great outdoors. Hell yeah, son. I would rather not get bit by random shit in nature. My mother was cleaning up the backyard, and apparently there was some poison ivy, and she had a fucking rash on half of her body for the last month. And then she was like, I want you to contribute to the household and help clean up the yard. And I was just like, haha, sure, Mom. And then I did nothing, and eventually she did it herself. All according to my keikaku. Because fuck that shit. You're the one who decided that it was necessary to clean that shit up. You get the poison ivy rash, not my problem. I don't ever go to the fucking backyard. It's not my problem. Fuck off. My general approach to the yard, just like nature and camping, is you should just ignore it. Besides, my mother is way more resilient than me when it comes to discomfort. She was probably taking that poison ivy shit like a champ. If I got that poison ivy, I would not be in the same emotional state that she was in. If my mother wants to be like a proletariat hippie psycho, then she can go and do it on her own. But me, I'm not gonna mow the grass. I'm not even gonna go to the backyard. Fuck that. People are like, no, you have to be constantly trimming and controlling nature or else it'll take over your house. I'll deal with that problem when nature actually is like climbing over my house and crashing through the windows and shit. Until that actually happens, I'm just gonna ignore it. Problem solved. Who planted the poison ivy in the first place? What the fuck? It's coming over from the next door neighbor's yard, actually. Ivy is pretty aggressive. It moves pretty quickly, so... That's why you have no maidens, and that's okay. If I had maidens, they'd probably be like, you need to contribute to the household and clean up the yard and shit, and I'd be like, no. And then we'd get divorced. And I wouldn't have to clean up the yard. So I'm saving myself a lot of steps here. And the whole losing half of my savings to a woman by having no maidens to begin with. This isn't like Elden Ring, guys. The maidens in Elden Ring you can set on fire and shit. It's not like the real maidens in real life. Your real life maiden isn't gonna be like, turn me into kindling to set the Erd tree on fire. They're not gonna say that. Instead, they're gonna be like, take out the garbage and do the dishes. Why would you get a shit about the yard aside from basic maintenance? I don't get it. I mean, I don't even want to do basic maintenance. That's probably the problem. Fun fact, you can set IRL maidens on fire too. Yeah, but then the fire won't go to the gigantic world tree. Unless you're living in California. Then you can set your maiden on fire and probably cause like a giant, you know, statewide fire. But that's just California things. Hashtag California things. Eventually you're going to see some sort of newspaper headline like, guy tried to burn the Erd tree by setting his maiden on fire, causing 50,000 acre wildfire in Palo Alto or some shit like that. The weird thing about the Elden Ring maiden is she gets angry if you don't set her on fire. You're just like, hey babe, I found an alternate strategy. We're going to do this whole frenzied flame thing instead. And she's like, no, don't do that. And then you're like, haha, LMAO. We already have a big one going up north thanks to the dude who set a car on fire. Arsonists don't set things on fire challenge, difficulty impossible as usual. These guys are just like fire, 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 like Beavis and Butthead. Fire! 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 Fire. I want to see something burn. Fire. Apparently it's a really good way to identify people with antisocial personality disorders, is they just fucking love setting shit on fire. They're like, it's so cool, ha! And then they, besides arson, they usually end up getting caught a few years later for like a triple homicide or something, so... That's just the way it is. Fuck those morons, they even record themselves doing it? Yeah. I missed your Beavis and Butthead impersonations. I haven't watched much Beavis and Butthead. I can't actually remember how they laugh. I am the Conhoria! Stuff like that. Beavis and Butthead is still funny. It was always funny. People acting stupid will always be funny. There are some things that lose funniness as you grow older and you're no longer 12 years old, but I watched some Beavis and Butthead shit and it's still pretty fucking funny. They still make new episodes. Yeah, I saw some of clips of the new episodes for the year like 2020, and man, they are really on point. I would actually say that the new episodes are better than the old episodes at this point. The social commentary for the new episodes is just off the charts in terms of its cleverness. Like, there was an episode where they put on VR headsets, or they think that they're in VR, and they're walking around the mall hurting themselves. And they're like, haha, cool, I'm in VR, Beavis. Wow, this feels real, haha. You bullshitting me? It's still good? Yeah, I don't actually have the subscription service to watch the full episodes, but there was a period in which YouTube was just recommending me all the clips, and I watched all of them, and they were all pretty fucking good. Yeah, Mike Judge's the social... I don't know if you'll find it as funny, but the social commentary is just really on point in a way that you wouldn't expect for something so old. But it almost feels more appropriate in our modern year than it used to be. There was also an episode in which some sort of alt girl with blue hair, I think, was giving Beavis romantic letters in class or some shit. I can't remember how that turned out. But I was just like, damn, yeah, that would happen. How do you feel about Daria? I never had MTV because I didn't have cable. So I completely missed a lot of that shit. The first time I actually saw Beavis and Butthead was when the movie came out. So I never really watched much Daria. For some reason, Beavis and Butthead wasn't available on VHS, but South Park was. So my foray into cartoons that are inappropriate for children happened through South Park. I love Daria, of course. She's basically a stand-in for you. Antisocial girl who is too smart for her own good. She's like me for real, for real. Unfortunately, in this case, she actually is like you for real, for real. She's not even a goth girlfriend. She's just someone who has an IQ that's 30 points higher than everyone else in her school and has to suffer for it. There's a lot of girls who want to be Daria, but aren't actually Daria. The entire Japanese isekai genre for females is basically Daria-like energy at this point. I think every girl wants to think of themselves now in the year 2024 as the smart, cool girl who isn't interested in boys, unlike all those stupid airhead girls. But it's not her fault that the hottest guy in the school falls in love with her, but she doesn't really care about him. It's basically one character archetype for Japanese female isekai right now. I haven't seen a single one that features a female main character who actually cares about boys, despite every single one they have a love interest. Let's make Becky cool and then everyone tries to be Becky. Yeah, that's basically the short explanation for the whole thing. Everyone wants to think of themselves as the cool, smart Becky who also gets their man. They don't want to think of themselves as the Becky who is a loser and isn't actually as smart as she thinks she is. They fail to see the point that Daria is smart and cool and collected and girls generally aren't. Yeah, well, I think a lot of people, female or male, want to think of themselves as smart and cool and collected, and they can think of the cool retort and make a cool snide comment, and they won't lose their shit in unexpected situations, but in fact, that's rarely the case. Still rocks that Japanese MTV is just like old MTV. I haven't seen old MTV or Japanese MTV. I just wish there was a channel where I could turn on and see hip-hop music videos with big fat titties and big asses as the rap hoes dance around the dance floor. I miss that time period of rap in which I could just turn on the TV and Nelly was playing. What's the female equivalent of Ryan Gosling? It would be a more traditional shoujo manga archetype in which the girl is really she gets the shit beaten out of her by society. That was the traditional shoujo manga archetype all the way through the 60s and 70s. It would be like an orphan girl who would basically Cinderella is all you really need to understand. It would be like a Cinderella archetype, shoujo Cinderella archetype, and she would have to try really hard to get anything nice to happen to her. Everything in shoujo genre from like the 60s to 70s was about being mean to the main character. Girls loved also being like, oh, I'm so unfortunate. Nobody understands how hard my life is, so... I think they have an online site where you can watch old MTV. Well, that's too much work. I just want it to be sort of an omnipresent force in my life. How similar to Ryan Gosling in Drive do you behave IRL? Well, I'm not good at mechanical things like taking apart car headlights like he was doing in that movie. Also, I wouldn't go and kill someone to save the life of a girl and her daughter or whatever the fuck was going on there. I can't remember the movie, although I saw it. Boondocks, BET was the worst thing to happen to black people. I should have watched more BET when I had the opportunity. I took everything for granted. Now, it's a lot of work to see that kind of barely legal thongs dancing on my TV screen. Even the beach volleyball players at the Olympics are wearing yoga pants. I just want to watch videos with thongs, guys. He just like me for real, for real. It's not like I even want to be horny. I just want society to be constantly catering to my male gaze, you know. Do girls even know about Lane? Probably not. It's one of those things where some Gen Alpha kid is going to be like, I found this crazy anime, and it's going to be like Serial Experiments Lane or some shit, and you're like, oh my god. They've discovered the 90s anime. Why should society constantly cater to male gaze? Why not someone else's gaze? My gaze deserve catering. Lane was one of the few animes we had in the aughts you could get from Suncoast. That already happened. Yeah, back in my day, the animes we got were Lane, some Gundam, Ninja Scroll, Saber Marionette J. Guys, you remember Saber Marionette J? Talk about male gaze for that one. Golden Boy, La Blue Girl, Urotsuki Doji. Midnight Eye Goku, I forgot the name. Saber Marionette was peak 90s style, it really was. When people think of the style of that time that hasn't returned, they think of Saber Marionette J. For real. The Ramune Yonju. Did they have Ramune Yonju in English, or was that Japan only? Ramune 40. This was the distinct time period of the anime at the time. The big eyes, the big... there was always like one girl that was like slightly tan, I feel. God, that shit was so fucking Kino. The girl with the... where you couldn't see the eyes because they were always covered with the hair, with the bangs. I'm not gonna say I want to go back, but I kind of want to go back. It wasn't actually my favorite style even at the time. But you can kind of tell that it would take a lot more work to animate than what we have right now. Tenchi was my bread and butter back then. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I never actually liked this style. It never truly clicked with me. The closest in that style that I truly enjoyed was probably Space Battleship Nadeshiko, which had the really large eyes. cheek hatch marks. True. I miss melanin. Yeah, we don't have enough anime characters right now that are just vaguely brown with silver or blue hair or something like that. I miss the midpoint between 90s and 2000s art styles. We have to go back in time and stop Suzumiya Haruhi from happening and ushering in the 2000s, post-2000s, late 2000s art style. That was when everything started to go downhill. Normies started to watch anime after Suzumiya Haruhi. And Keon. It's all KyoAni's fault, guys. Normies in Haruhi, maybe not in America, but in Japan, it's often said that Haruhi was kind of the normies moment in which normies crossed over into the otaku genre of hobbies. Bit of a stretch? I don't think so. I think it's correct. I remember there was it's the combination of Haruhi and Nico Nico and stuff like that, in which a lot of people were like, I'm an otaku now. You guys don't understand because you weren't in Japan at the time. It really was a huge influx of otaku energy. KyoAni already suffered the repercussions. It certainly didn't suffer the repercussions of like the normal cultural influence. It suffered it from a fucking psycho, unfortunately. Okay, this is too... You wouldn't understand? You wouldn't understand, guys. Have you noticed that this entire chat has people from all sorts of different countries? Brazil, Venezuela, we have a Korean guy. All these countries, and yet, despite me being a manga artist, drawing manga, a Japanese thing, we have never ever had anybody who speaks Japanese other than me in chat. I've gotten maybe one Japanese comment for my manga I post on Twitter. This is because nobody in Japan has any ability to read English at all. There's just a huge chasm between the Japanese internet and the American sides of the internet. It's a completely foreign country. There's no crossover at all. It's not like Euros. Japanese are completely incapable of using English. I've seen a lot of my manga getting picked up by Chinese people and being translated into Chinese, but never Japanese. That's how bad Japanese English understanding is, and their complete lack of being able to function in the American or English sections of the internet. It essentially makes them into a different subsection. Everybody else can use English except Japanese people. Japanese behave like rabbits in social media. It doesn't take much to scare them off. Yes. They have all sorts of different behaviors. They're just like a completely different ecosystem. Japs and the French. Well, the French can use English though, even if they don't want to. The French are always in denial that they can't use English because they don't want to admit that English is now literally the lingua franca. How ironic is that? They're gonna be like, no, I don't know English. It's like, yes, you do. Stop pretending like you don't. You lost. They just want to be like, no, English imperialism isn't real. I've already managed to learn English being a dumb third worlder, so it might be doable for me. Japanese is so different from English that they basically can never learn English, and vice versa. The number of Japanese people who can speak English properly, I can count on like one hand that I've met in my life. I love seeing Westerners trying to use ore. I'm like, please do not. What? When they're trying to speak Japanese. It's always hard to decide what your, how to call yourself. What word to call yourself in Japanese when you're a grown man. Boku, ore, watashi. None of them seem appropriate. Sometimes I use jibun. Jibun wa そんなことはないんですけど the best way is to just not talk about yourself at all, I guess. This is why 90% of Japanese conversation is just made out of people saying,はい、わかりました。はい。はい、そうです。はい、はい。はい、申し訳ありません。As long as you know like 3 different ways to apologize, you're basically good to go in Japanese. That's basically the only thing you're going to use a language for, apologizing, so... Naruhodo. ごめんね、お兄ちゃん。We should start speaking Esperanto. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. If it didn't happen already. I got a shit ton of free drinks for singing Eva's Cruel Angel's Thesis. Just memorize that. 残酷な天使のテーゼどけからなららららららほとばしる熱いパットスで少年よ神話になれGod, I'm such a great singer. Majide? Majide? 信じらんない。嘘。Ball is torturing the chat? Yes. You deserve it.
Get down on your knees and come around more morning. So deep, you ain't no so deep. Man, do you like ass? You're coming so deep. Maggots are dead. You go do good,
Oh!
That I wanna hit this hot bowl. Oh yeah. You wanna drink my man juice and purple. That coffee you like this thing dark home. Hey man, dark home. This thing ain't no one next door. Deep dark fantasy. Yeah, man, dark home. Hey man, dark home. This thing ain't no one next door. Deep dark fantasy. Yeah, man, dark home. Hey man, dark home. This thing ain't no one next door. Deep dark
And so on.
Yeah, man, dark home.
Do I have to go to Nico Nico to get good gachi? All I find on YouTube is Russian stuff. I think Nico Nico is still down because they got hacked. So you can't even go to Nico Nico, I think. Jesus Christ, this is an entire mix for Neon Genesis Gachimuchi. Hacked by Russian hackers, no doubt? I think so.
Yo, listen up, here's the story about a little kid that lives in a blue. And all day and all night and everything he sees is just
Dick. Ass.
inside and outside blue him
Dungeon.
with a blue little maggot and a blue
Like cum.
and everything is
Deep.
boy
Ass.
and himself and everybody around cause he ain't got nobody to this thing.
I'm gay.
Could you achieve Van's physique? No. I definitely can't achieve Billy's physique. But I probably can't achieve Van's physique either. Oh. Get back your slaves.
That cops.
The semen.
Not the. Ain't no. Condom.
Send this to Jordan Peterson and tell him it's audio taken from a liberal re-education camp, forced homosexuality. I've heard on the internet that Jordan Peterson isn't as much of a wacko as the reputation he's earned, and there just isn't any other right-wing intellectuals out there, so he's kind of forced to take up the mantle of like all of the sins of stupid right-wing shit. But he actually doesn't say that much weird stuff. I don't actually follow him enough to know. Sweet, work just gave me a bonus. Well, you know what that means. It's time to donate to your favorite streamer. Just a grifter? I mean, everyone's online is a grifter, including me. We're just asking for money left and right.
It's so fucking deep.
Oh! I got an ad for Joe Rogan yesterday. I guess he's doing stand-up now. Of course he would. I don't particularly think Joe Rogan is interesting or talented, but why should he care? Because he certainly has a massive fan base who's telling him he's entertaining, so there's not much I can do about it. Finish 5 pages in a week and I'll reward you. Yeah, honestly I should be able to finish at least 2 pages a day. I'm not really worrying about my speed right now, but at some point when I really get the workflow down, I'll try and really kick the tires and light the fires and go fast. Because at some point I'm going to have to kick up the production speed, but right now I'm kind of still fiddling around with all the tools that are at my disposal, so I'm not that worried about it. Meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out efficient work methods and going from there. It will get faster eventually. Gachi must have hit the Japanese internet like crack hit black communities in the 80s. Nico Nico was a special part of Japanese culture and the internet, but yes, it did. There was just a lot of stuff that in the early stages of the Japanese internet that was just like gay shit that gained a lot of popularity. Abe-san, Kusomiso Technique, Gachi, and then after that we had the second wave with Imu, Midsummer Nights, Wet Dream. I was present for the Gachi and the Abe-san part of it. They really love Billy? Yeah. There's a reason why he's called Aniki. He was kind of like the reliable big brother to the Japanese internet that they never got. There's just something reliable and warm about him, and I'm not talking about his massive boner, you know. He provided something to the Japanese internet that they needed at the time. And there was a lot of people who liked video editing, that's also part of it. Aniki! Yeah. Damn, this really does sound better with Gachi, this song. The only place I could find gachi was in 4chan, then years later kids are running around screaming gachi memes. Unfortunately, what you thought was a small corner of the internet now is the mainstream. I was just working out at Planet Fitness this morning, and the girl in front of me, who was doing pull downs, had a fucking One Piece merchandise on. She had subtle anime merchandise that only a fellow anime coomer such as myself could recognize. It was the One Piece, one of the flags. It was Berami, hyena, Berami the hyena's flag. Or was that Don Flamingo? I can't remember. I can't remember which one it was. Doflamingo One Piece flag. Yeah, no, it was the Doflamingo flag. I hate One Piece. Too bad. There's nothing you can do. It's too powerful. Just like many other things, it's not gonna go away. I fucking hated Harry Potter, but I can't escape it, you know. I have to know about the truth about Dumbledore's gay cock and stuff like that, even if I don't want to know. Fuck you. Doflamingo fucks. Why would anyone want to be part of his team, though? I can understand why I want to be part of Blackbeard's team. But I don't think Doflamingo is just going to let me go and, like, rape and pillage as much as I want, like Blackbeard would. I don't think there's much, you know, positive for being a part of his crew. My high school friends who I still talk to used to make fun of me for being an anime nerd. Fast forward today, they watched the entirety of One Piece. The joke's on them. They wasted 10,000 hours of their life that they could have saved just by reading the manga. But apparently Americans can't read, so it always becomes a question of whether you watch the abridged version of the anime or like the original version of the anime. And I just say, just read the fucking manga. It's so much faster. Jesus Christ, there's no filler. But they can't seem to do that because it involves reading. Even reading with pictures is too much reading for Americans, so submissive with a control fetish? It'd have to be. He's gonna like control you with his strings or whatever if you fuck up. I remember being bullied for being goth and into anime in high school. Now, years later, it's in vogue. Not only is it in vogue, it's the cringe mainstream thing that you would have to avoid if you want to be cool and counterculture. Think about it. Today, there's probably some black kid who is getting made fun of by some other black kid because he didn't properly watch the latest season of Demon Slayer on time, and he's getting spoiled. And Tyrone is telling Jamal that it's his own fault for not immediately watching it when the new season dropped. And then they're gonna go and play Street Fighter, which hasn't changed. Anime is cringe again? Cringe anime has always been cringe and will always be cringe. You can't watch an anime about changing your Oni-chan into a girl and expect people to be like, yo, that anime is dope. But the anime that isn't cringe and was never cringe and was meant for popular consumption in Japan is now no longer cringe in America. So, like, jump shit. You can get away with talking about Dragon Ball. If I was 20 again, I'd have men lining up at my door. It's not that hard to get men to line up at your door, unfortunately. Just look at Pokemon. The only cool anime is Heartcatch, Pretty Cure. Everything else makes you an otaku. Yes. Nothing wrong with masturbating to children's cartoons. Isn't that right, fellow Coomers? I like how Sato Shoji, aka Inazuma, aka the author of High School of the Dead, has spent his entire life just drawing Pretty Cure doujins. I think he's made like 40 Pretty Cure doujins. I'm not even exaggerating. And I download them and pirate them because I respect his artwork, but I don't give a single fuck about Pretty Cure, and I never used him for masturbation because I just don't care about Pretty Cure. But the man likes his children's anime, and no one can convince him otherwise. Who is drawing Pretty Cure doujins? The author of High School of the Dead. So they're pretty high quality. He's basically released as many Pretty Cure doujins as he's released episodes of High School of the Dead or Triage X or whatever. Aren't 30-year-old girls doing whatever they can to make that age in demand now, like becoming VTubers? Like pretending that ironically liking hags, quote-unquote, is in vogue now? Yes. It's the same push that they were doing, calling themselves cougars and shit. Women whose ovaries are drying up are in a desperate race against time to convince men to inseminate them, so they have to convince men that their natural instinct to have sex with 25-year-olds is incorrect and they should be fucking the 40-year-old. It's an uphill battle, but men are pretty desperate as well, so you'll be able to trick a few of them. Not me, though. Nobody gets to have sex with me. I got off work slightly early and my boss scolded me according to anime 25-year-olds equals hags. I mean, the woman could be 50. She's gonna look the same as a 20-year-old. Age is only a number, especially in anime. You could be 3,000-year-old, or you could be 30-year-old, or you could be a 16-year-old. The only thing that's gonna change is the hairstyle, the bust size, and maybe the height. There's a very brief period in which we have old women who are like 80 years old or something that fill an old woman niche, a non-sexual, like, we need an actual hag, a wise old woman or an evil old woman niche, but 99% of the time they're just going to be a ancient 3,000-year-old loli. I'm starting to accept the fact I'm never going to have a girlfriend going down the BaalBud I way. I gave up on not only having female relationships, but spending time on any other people other than myself around, I don't know, 30 or something. I just realized it was too much work to maintain social connections to people. Maybe if I was living in Japan, this would be slightly different, but I'm just not attracted to any women, people in general in America, so the decision to not put myself out there was pretty easy. I remember when, after I graduated from college and I was still pretending to be a normal person, so I installed Match.com, a dating app, the largest dating app on my phone. And then after a few days, I realized it was asking me to give it money. And I was like, well, I guess that's the end of my relationship with dating apps. I can't be bothered to give it any money. Of course, I never contacted anyone. The truth is, I don't actually want to spend time with other humans other than myself. That might be because you are gay. No, that's because I'm antisocial. I'm the straightest person out there. I guess you don't have autism spectrum going on. Ball, you can't just tell the woman to leave you after you have sex. I know this. That's why I don't contact them. I know enough about women to know that if we have sex and I'm like, okay, I need you to leave my room now, you're violating my personal space, they might become unhappy and do some annoying female shit like crying or something, which nobody wants that, right? So you can't put them back under your bed. Yes, that's why I like masturbating. It's also like why I like chatting with you guys, chat, because if I get annoyed with you, I can ban you, and I can just end the stream and not have to see any of you. It's the right amount of control over human relations. I wish I could do that to my real-life coworkers and stuff. If they try and corner me and talk to me about their kid's softball game, I just block them. Girls get so many messages on dating apps, 9 out of 10 it's never personal if they don't respond. Yes. It's unclear why the dating market is so heavily favorable to women. I guess it's just because men are way more desperate. But I don't really understand why, because every interaction I've had with women in my entire life shows that they care about relationships just as much as men, if not more, and are very desperate about everything. And yet the entire infrastructure is still set up around men, you know, courting women. Courting is the term here, I guess. Everybody has agreed that it's men's job to court women. And as a result, women don't really have to do anything on their own. So there's no reason for them to change, I guess. It's a seller's market, except it's not a seller's market, because the women who put themselves on the app, like, they're just as much buying as they're selling as well, right? They're not just like, I don't care if I never find a guy or not. They want a relationship. It theoretically should be some kind, a little more equal, and yet it's not. Yes, excellent. Pay for my dinner and company. I don't know. I guess old habits just die hard is just what it comes down to. If everybody is okay with the current arrangement in which men are always the person who has to do the courtship and is paying money, then nothing's gonna change unless we all become autistic like me, and I'm just gonna be like, I don't care. Although that might be why birth rates are going down. Who knows? Women on dating apps are also desperate, especially if she's talking to you. Yeah. I'm glad I got off the app before I actually had to communicate with somebody. That would be awkward. I don't even like talking to people in general, so the horror of having to talk to someone on a dating app would be unspeakable. It must never happen. Society is not used to the amount of young men that currently exist. They usually die in war or some other event. I mean, that's why they just become unemployed rapists who just sit around. We have to thin the herd every once in a while and send them off to die in wars. America understands this. We should start another completely meaningless war in the Middle East to give our boys something to do. Good thing about being Venezuelan is that both parties are usually poor enough to expect someone to pay for both. If nobody has money, then no one is expected to pay for anything. The joys of your economy completely crashing. Unemployed rapists who sit around, good phrase. I mean, isn't it literally that way in like India and countries that have like really high male populations but very low job prospects and shit, like Iran and stuff like that, where the economy isn't doing great for various reasons, and men can't get married because they don't have the money to pay for dowry to get a wife, and that in many cases they don't have access to prostitution either, so they just become crazy soccer obsessed unemployed rapists who are waiting to cause trouble and shit. It's pretty depressing. Luckily I don't live in those countries, so all third world countries, people just sit around because there's no jobs. Yep. That's what I've been told. No wonder they're like, I should try and cross the border to come to America, where the local McDonald's is just constantly begging people to sign up for a shift. They're like, please, please, nobody wants to work at McDonald's anymore, please. And then illegal immigrant number 5,000 shows up, and they're like, oh, thank God, we'll make you a manager right now. And then the Republicans are like, no! Our country is being taken over by brown people. How can this happen? So, that's American politics in like 5 seconds right there for you. I stopped going outside even by myself because I'm forced to pay first world prices with fourth world wages. There's a reason why everybody's going to Japan for tourism. Because even in America, like, inflation, the price inflation has definitely outpaced wage inflation. But if you go to Japan, that same dollar is now like 1.6 times its value, so everyone's like, yeah, let's go to Japan. Food is affordable there. The price of food in Japan hasn't gone up in like the last 30 years. I'm not even joking. You can still eat lunch for like 500 yen, which is the equivalent of like $3 in the current exchange rate, so it just, nothing has really changed. Republicans are fucked when the second and third generation immigrant family children decide they don't want to work because their lives are more comfortable. Well, that's why you need to keep on letting more immigrants in, unfortunately. It's just an endless cycle. Don't worry. They'll also, once they start to become more comfortable, they'll also start to have fewer kids. So to maintain the economy and the population, America can just endlessly have immigration. As long as they keep the country attractive enough that third world country people want to immigrate here, they can just keep on doing that in perpetuity. It's a pretty good setup. But, you know, Republicans are going to because they don't like brown-skinned people, so... Having a girlfriend or trying to get one is extremely expensive. Yes. Wait, are you the Chile guy? I'm having difficulty keeping track of which South American country is who at this point. I'm sure the other South American countries are pretty bad, but I don't think any of you have anything on the Venezuelan in chat. I still think it's hilarious that we have someone from Venezuela in chat. I'm from Argentina. Argentina also has Olympic level inflation, so... Everything is seemingly fine, but my fridge is empty. I've heard that there's only 3 types of economies. The economy of Argentina, the economy of Japan, and everybody else. According to economists. It's like 3 distinct situations. So I don't know how the fuck Argentina got so fucked up, but they're like a very special... a special case in which everything went wrong, is what I've been told. If this music sounds like you are blasting it on speakers and echoing on the streets, yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Gachi playlist right now. Millet will turn everything around there. Keck. Millet is the weird guy, right? Who is saying that they should just start using dollars or something. That people in America were calling like the Trump of Argentina, and I was just like, no, he's actually still way more normal than Trump. Riots going on outside his window, but he's watching ball draw. I mean, I also heard that Venezuela was losing power like half the time as well, so I'm just like, damn, they still got their internet at least. Richest Venezuelan in chat. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Because a lot of it is government, some amount is government sponsored, right? I don't know how the internet works. My internet is slow as fuck right now, but we still have it. There you go. Just watch the stream at minimum bitrate. Problem solved. Apparently the one time he meant Trump, or at least someone there said Millet, smelled like he hadn't bathed in for days and was visibly disgusted. That's fucking hilarious. Especially because Trump is, what do you call it, a germaphobe. I think that's hilarious. Doesn't stop Twitch from sucking. I've had weird Twitch streaming issues despite our internet being really fast, and I can stream 4K video on YouTube, no problem, but for some reason Twitch always gets fucked up, and it's happened at some point and I can't really figure out why it's happening. It's unique to my laptop, and it doesn't happen on my PlayStation if I use the Twitch app on my PlayStation 5. So I don't know why it's not playing well with my gaming laptop, but it definitely doesn't have anything to do with the laptop's like technical capabilities. So I don't really know what's going on there. It doesn't really matter because it's just something that I have on in the background while I'm drawing anyways, so I don't really care that much, but it's a weird phenomenon. Venezuela has never had cheap games. We ain't Argentina nor Brazil. Doesn't Brazil have like some weird taxation on... I can't remember whether it was consoles or PCs. Which was the country that had, like, insane taxation on some kind of gaming hardware, and as a result, they only have the other kind of hardware. I've always had high latency with your streams. That might just be because I'm streaming on Wi-Fi. It might be on my end. Now we pay the same as Americans, more so because there's at least a 60-something% tax on top. That's right, Americans complaining. You think stuff is bad? It can always get worse. There's always more room for the opposite of improvement. Chavez should have used the oil money to make Venezuela into the gaming capital of South America. He should have done a lot of things with the oil money, which he didn't do, I guess. Saving up comm money to buy a monitor. Luckily, monitors are slightly getting cheaper right now. I bought a 4K monitor for like $250 US, an Asus. So I don't know how much it's going to end up costing you in your country, but at least the core price is going down a little. Although, if your bit rates and stuff suck, there's probably no point in getting 4K, right? What's priced $300 on America is like almost $800 here. Yeah, guys. Remember, it can always get worse. Alright, guess the game time. Here we go. Game 808. This is today's game. Skyline... Looks like, I don't know, PS2? Spider-Man 1? I think we've had Spider-Man 1 before. I'm not sure if that is. It's not Skyrim. Need for Speed Underground 2? I think that's a good guess. It feels like that. Let's put in Need for Speed. It definitely is like an urban something. Although I think we had Need for Speed Underground in one of the previous ones, so I don't think it's that. You're right for Need for Speed. So this might be a PS3 instead of Underground. 82%. There's a shit ton of Need for Speed games. The question is, which one is it? Maybe a Hot Pursuit. I can't remember the chronologically. It could be like Rivals or... It's not Payback. Payback is the only one. It's first game. Should I just try Underground? Okay, it is Underground. X-Mods Custom RC. Okay, it is PS2. For a second I thought this made the graphics look a little better, but it is PS2. Yeah, just seeing the building, you're like, maybe it's a racing game, you can kind of feel it. I want to go back, guys. Why does it sound like you're living in a warehouse above a club in the 2000s? That's just what the Gotchi is playing right now. Here, we can try Gotchi Eurobeat instead. Oh, ass. I was suffering from lack of RAM. Little I knew that RAM is cheap as fuck now. Just download more RAM, my friend. Go online and download that RAM right now. Killer 7? Is this Killer 7? Could this be anything besides Killer 7? It looks like Killer 7. Network error. Wait, is Killer 7 the name of the Japanese name? I'm gonna go for Killer 7. I think it's Killer 7. I fucking knew it, guys. Fucking knew it. Look at that gamer cred. I played Killer 7 for all of 5 minutes because I didn't like the art style. Yeah, I could feel it. Just the color palette. Reload. 74. Yeah, that's accurate. The pink-ass red. I'm pretty sure that Suda51 is massively overrated. As stylish as he is. In terms of actually making video games, I just couldn't fucking stand Killer 7, to be honest. Next. Alright, I have no idea what this is. This looks like a PS1 era PC game. I just don't like Suda51. I like the waifus that he has, though. I think Bad Girl is just like an all-time waifu. Team Fortress 1? I've never even seen Team Fortress 1. I've never seen a single thing. Looks like N64, I like that. Arx Fatalis, I like that. Red Faction, I think Red Faction had better graphics than this. Haunting Grounds? Man, everyone's all over the place right here. I mean, I feel like Quake might actually be a good guess. I don't know, man. But the Quake's color palette is a little more muted than this. It's not Arx. Wow, we have a lot of Arx Fatalis people. It can't be PS1. It looks like a PC. Yeah, I don't think it's Quake either. I have no idea what Team Fortress 1 even looks like. I just name dropped your game. Which one? What the fuck? Okay, we're having people fighting over Arx Fatalis or not. Let's try Arx Fatalis. A lot of people say it is, a lot of people say it isn't. Let's try it. No. Too old for Metacritic. This is definitely PC, right? Looks like an adventure game. Almost. Looks like a point-and-click adventure game. Probably a Star Wars game. Definitely not. Outcast. A lot of people are saying Episode 1 Racer. The graphics are too crisp for Episode 1 Racer, though. It wouldn't old. I don't think it would be too old for Metacritic either, but maybe. I don't think it's Star Wars. I understand why you think that with these flags and shit. Maybe? I don't know. Now I'm starting to think that maybe you're right. No, there was this like Tibetan place that did have flags like this. Yeah, you might be right. Let's give it a try. I think that's a good enough guess. Nice, you got it. Good guess. People who are looking at this and saying it was Star Wars was that's a really good guess. I can't look at this shit and be like this is Star Wars. There was a level like this for sure. It felt so fast. It was such a fast game. Like it was really the first. Like I played Wipeout and F-Zero a little bit. But it was the first time where I was really like, holy shit, it's so fast. Yeah, here is the garage right here. This is pod racing, let's go! I guess the graphics were better than I thought they were now that we look back on them. Because everything is moving so fucking fast, you never actually get to see it. It felt so fast when you were hitting 600. Holy shit. Let's go! This might be the PC version. Yeah, it's probably the PC version. PC N64. I played it on N64, of course, where it was much more muddier. Alright. Is this a Double Fine game? Highly stylized. I have no idea. I can't even tell if this is a 3D or 2D game, guys. Looks like indie slop. I have no idea for this one. Le Retro Low Poly, yeah. I can't even tell if this is a recent game, recent indie slop, or old game. I have no idea. It could be anything. This feels almost like a textured wall. Another nin shit about Link. I have no idea on this one. Sly Cooper. I mean, Sly Cooper is as good a guess as anything at this point. I mean, at least this is a lamp. Let's try Sly Cooper. That's the only actual guess we have so far. What the fuck is this? This looks like a building? Ultra Kill? Is this Ultra Kill? Does Ultra Kill look like this? I guess we have multiple people saying Ultra Kill. I have not played Ultra Kill. Ultra Kill, all caps. Correct. Yeah, I haven't played it. It's the wholesome Chungus, guys. Not rated. Is it in early access forever? Sadistic. Triple kill, exploded, double kill, exploded, exploded. I probably should play Ultra Kill. I like shooting stuff. But I'm really bad at keyboard-based movement, which is why I prefer playing on controller. What the fuck? Abe's Odyssey? This looks like N64 right here. Final Fantasy... Oh, that's a good guess. Because, like, if they show any part of Final Fantasy VII, it would be too obvious. This might be something in, like, part of the backgrounds in the area of Barrett's hometown or something. I kind of like the Final Fantasy VII guess. Crisis Core. It does feel like a PS1 pre-rendered background. I really like the Final Fantasy VII guess. Let's give it a try. Because they wouldn't be able to show anything that has any kind of actual artwork in it. Or else people would immediately recognize it. No. Okay. Metacritic score not rated. It's clearly more of a modern situation, but there's also some old-fashioned pipes and stuff. Low poly, not pre-rendered. Yeah, but even if it's pre-rendered, like if you have like a really close-up of the background, I feel like it would look like this. It's obviously really old, which is why it's not rated. Does not rated automatically mean early access? That might be true. If it's the older games, it would say too old to be rated. So if it's not rated, it might be early access. This seems familiar. Could it be like Alone in the Dark or something? If Hystrixia thinks it seems familiar. Yeah, if it's too old, it says too old. You're right. I haven't actually played any horror games, but this architecture kind of makes me think it might be horror. Da-da-da-da. Huh. Feels like it's, it hasn't been it's an unreleased, perhaps, indie game with shitty graphics on purpose. Who knows? Blood Rain 1, I'll give the... We could try that. But I think that would be rated, though. I'm pretty sure that would be rated. I understand why you would say Blood Rain, but... I don't know, man. We can try it. We might get a yellow. Blood Rain. I think it is Alone in the Dark, doesn't it? Doesn't this look like Alone in the Dark? It feels like some kind of horror exploration. Guns? Like, what is this thing? It's Guns? Was that a Western? I can't even remember. Guns the Duel. Is Guns the Duel still in early access? What the fuck? I thought I knew this game, but I don't actually know it. Originally released 2006. Was this a Dreamcast? Where does it say the PC? 2006. It looks so weird. Awesome game. I've heard of it, but I have no idea what it's actually like. Holy shit, look at them go. Old Korean game? Oh, that's right. Now I remember. That's right, yeah. Is that the one that had like the super hot character art? Yeah, I remember saving some of the art work of the time because I was like, shit, that stuff is hot. The good old days. Bugs inadvertently made it a movement shooter on steroids. Sounds like fun. People who say that Korean video games don't have soul, they're wrong. They just used to have soul and they lost it. Okay. 12? Now this feels like Psychonauts or something like that. Nintendo? I mean, yeah, that's immediately what I thought. Psychonauts, maybe? But I think I already guessed Psychonauts. That, or maybe a Nintendo, or wannabe Nintendo. What about, A Hat in Time? It feels more like an indie that is trying to be one of those classic platformers. 12, yeah. It's not A Hat in Time. I don't think it's A Hat in Time, but it feels like from that same zone of more recent indie games that want to emulate the platformers of the time. Yeah, I don't remember. I played a little bit of Hat in Time, but didn't finish it, as is often the case with me in video games. Psychonauts 2 is a guess. Let's try Psychonauts. I don't know. It's probably not. The art style of A Hat in Time is even more pedo-like than this. We can go further into the pedo zone. Metacritic score is 79%, so it's not that loved. It's clearly some kind of strategy or maybe a roguelike. Maybe like Monster Train or something, although this doesn't look like Monster Train either. It's definitely a game I haven't played. It's probably PC. Any guests, guys? I probably need some help from PC gamers on this one. I think this is Nintendo of some sort. Indie slop, yeah. I don't think we have any indie slop connoisseurs for this one. I have no idea. But they don't have games that are like completely unknown usually. Deck builder, that's what I'm thinking. Let's try Monster Train or something. It definitely feels like a deck builder. Looks like a deck building game, yes. Okay, it's obviously a deck building game. PC, PS4, Xbox, Switch. It's on all the platforms. A recent game, deck building indie slop. Looks like shit. I know, right? This might be the one game that stumps us, guys, because nobody cares about it. Which Xbox? Probably any Xbox. Just might be an attack animation. I mean, it's not Cuphead, but it also feels like it might be Cuphead. I Sleep. Dicey Dungeons. We can try that. I've never played it. It feels like a roguelike or maybe Castle Crashers or something. I don't know. What the fuck is this thing? Genre, adventure, action, RPG. Usually there's like one person who has played the indie slop game, but this might be the one that stumps us. I have no idea. Could be anything. Yeah, it's definitely not Castle Crashers. It feels like that kind of scroller, though. I fucking got it, guys. Nobody saves the world. I have not played the game, but it was offered to me as one of the PlayStation Plus games like a few months back. Yeah, I got it. Probably Nobody Saves the World. The empty eyes are kind of a giveaway. Literally Who game. It's relatively highly, well, I guess it's not. And yet, despite not providing any hints, we were still able to guess it. My ability to look at one piece of cover artwork that's offered to me once for my PlayStation Plus game rewards and be able to look at this and be like, oh, that's that must be what the game looks like when you actually go and start it up and actually play it, which I had not done, is it amazes me myself. Next, Jet Set Radio Future. Is this Jet Set Radio, guys? This looks like Jet Set Radio. Is this anything other than Jet Set Radio? I think it's Jet Set Radio. When it activates, when it activates my neurons, and I'm like, it has to be that game. It usually is that game. No, it's not. It's not even, Dark Blacks. Beat. What's the Elite Beat Agents? Oh, Beautiful Joe. That's also a good guess. I think you're right on Beautiful Joe, actually. Let's do Beautiful Joe. Got it. Nice. Yeah, there's only so many games that have this kind of hard black shading. 93%. People really like Beautiful Joe, didn't they? Remember when Capcom used to make video games besides Street Fighter, Monster Hunter, and Resident Evil? It probably wasn't very profitable for them, but it was a nice time, wasn't it?
It's so fucking deep.
So fucking deep. Let's go! Okay. Skyrim. Look, it's cold. It has to be Skyrim, guys. There's a bird, and it's cold. It feels like almost science fiction. I actually recognize this, I think.
My name is Dan. I'm an artist. I'm a performance artist. I'm hired for people to fulfill their fantasies. They keep
Cold and bird. Also, if I scan some part of it... Ragnarok.
It's so fucking deep.
I can't tell if this is just a mountain or... This might actually be Skyrim. It's not Skyrim.
It's so fucking
Oh, yeah. Maybe it is God of War Ragnarok. I haven't played Ragnarok yet. We could try it. You got it. It is a bird. Odin! 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 Kratos! Boy! Boy! Go move that object! Do the puzzle, boy! Oh. God, I should play it. It should be cheap by now. I really enjoyed the first one. Boy, where's my wife's son? The good thing about Kratos is whether it's actually his wife's son or is his real son, he'll still be a horrible father in either case. Blood relation will not prevent him from being a horrible, disengaged father. He will always be horrible at his job. I don't want to make a PSN account. Too bad. I don't think it's available on PC.
places that, even though it's physical,
To begin with. Yeah, it's still only available on PlayStation. You don't get to play it.
logical too. This thing is
Single dad simulator. Absentee father. Emotionally distant father simulator. Feels good, man. He's just like me, for real, for real. When his son's like, Father, what happened to the Giants? He's like, oh, you don't need to know about that. It is on PC, it's on Steam, LOL. Oh, okay. Well, this was, when the Guess the Game came out, this was a while ago, so I guess, PlayStation wasn't porting that shit. Alright. 360. I have no idea. Probably an RPG, some kind of fantasy. We have some glasses. We have the vague curvature of her breast. Is this a boob I see, guys? Is this a female woman in this image? I think this might be a female woman. Dragon Age 2. Or maybe Dragon Age Inquisition. Goblets. Journey to the West game. I don't think... female woman? It looks like a female woman, guys. Let's try Dragon Age Inquisition, although the lighting is wrong. It's probably a role-playing game, but... we're gonna try it. It's not Dragon Age. I would have guessed Twilight Princess or Shadow of the Colossus, but we already have guessed those previously. I don't think they're going to repeat it that quickly. Literally every time I get this kind of lighting, I'm like Twilight Princess, but it's clearly not that. 89%. Could this be an MMO or something? Like Terra? I don't know. Fable? Oh, I like the Fable guess. Let's try Fable 3. The graphics are too good for original Xbox, but I like the Fable guess. No. Oh, is this Bayonetta? I think this is Bayonetta. Weren't these enemies in Bayonetta? It is Bayonetta, right? I remember fighting these and being like, fuck, these guys are hard. Yeah, it's Bayo. 1. 360, so no. Oh. I think it was out on 360, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it's out on 360 and PS3, the first one. Not the second and third, which are Switch only. Yeah, it is. I distinctly remember fighting these guys. They were the first enemy that really was kicking my ass, so... Let's see that ass. Show me the ass. Oh, here's the gun. Oh, I'm gonna go! Oh, oh! That's really the only reason why I want to play a Switch. I don't really want to switch for anything besides Bayonetta 2 and 3. Whoa! Bayonetta-sama, please torture me! Oh! Next. Ocarina of Time? What the fuck is this? This seems like, Melee. Ooh, I like the Melee guess, actually. It just feels very Nintendo-y, honestly. I don't know why it immediately felt like Ocarina of Time, but it just feels like Nintendo. I like the Melee. No. 85%. Is this Fury? What game has a color palette? But we guessed Fury before, I remember that pretty recently. What game has this super purple color palette? That one cutscene? It reminds you of that cutscene when they created the universe, doesn't it? That's what it feels like. Hyperlight Drifter? What's it called? Hyperlight Drifter? Something Drifter? Hyperlight Drifter? No. Wakanda. Okay. Mobile and PC. It's a fucking mobile game? Guys, that's not a real fucking game. It's the fucking Marvel whatever card game, isn't it? Fucking mobile. 85%. Suck my cock. Jesus Christ. That's not a game. Guess the game. Are we actually gonna do fucking mobile games going forward? Jesus Christ. Is it Marvel Snap? Oh, wow. Who could have guessed that? They had to put Wakanda at literally fucking 3 because nobody would ever be able to guess this purple shitty slop fucking phone game shit if they didn't give us all the goddamn information. Oh, yeah, I for sure fucking love my Marvel card game. Alright, next. If they're gonna do shitty phone games, there's no way we'll be able to guess this stuff. Guess the gacha? Yeah. Next time they'll just show us, like, giant tit cleavage and ask us which, you know, Korean or Chinese gacha this is gonna be. And I'm gonna have to be like, is that Princess Connect? Can you guess which kind of tits those are? Alright. PS1. I'm thinking. I would say Xenogears almost, but we already guessed Xenogears. Metal Gear? It might be Metal Gear. It's not Xenogears. We guessed Xenogears like a few guesses back, so... It's top down. Yeah, maybe it is Metal Gear Solid. I don't know. It feels too obvious, though. If we just immediately go Metal Gear Solid. Oh, it is. Okay. Everyone's 7,000 hours of sneaking around the Alaskan. Okay, well, they're definitely giving it away pretty quickly. And guess 2 if we're going to get the jamming screen. 94%. Pretty obvious right here. I never even played Metal Gear Solid. It's too iconic at this point. It's impossible to not get it, I guess. They're really not trying here, are they? Are you fucking kidding me? Who the fuck... The last 2 choices have been kind of shitty. Whoever made these last 2 ones is probably like an intern. Like, how the fuck are you not gonna guess this immediately? Give me a break. Otacon. Hey, Snake. Here's some ketchup packets. I could only find this. Here, eat the ketchup packets, Snake. Oh, Otacon. I've been tortured 8,000 times. Oh, I'm so... Snake. Remember when we fought in the minefield? The only reason I want to play Metal Gear Solid is to get the full lore of Revengeance. Metal Gear Solid is a way better game than Revengeance, dude. Unfortunately. It really is. Snake, do you think I can marry this sniper lady who has big exposed cleavage? I know she's a good person because she's nice to her wolves. Otacon. I missed your Metal Gear impersonations. Meryl! Snake! You need to find a sniper rifle. That sniper wolf. You won't be able to cross the bridge. Colonel. I can't get by the mines. Meryl. Written and directed by Hideo Kojima. He's done it again. Snake. Love? So that's why you're obsessed with the big boss? Alright, next. That's enough Metal Gear Solid impersonations. What the fuck? This looks like Call of Duty. No, is this Halo? This looks like Halo 2 or something. I don't know. Huh. So we have razor wire at the bottom. So this is some kind of building. It kind of looks like Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. Killzone is a good guess. It feels like a PS3 era. But I don't think the Suffering has that levels of explosions. It feels like a Call of Duty almost. I don't know, man. Let's try Killzone. I like the Killzone guess. Killzone. Maybe 2. Let's try 2. Wrong. Okay. West Harlem. Is this Prototype, you think? Methinks it might be Prototype. 79%. In New York. It's not the Division. Division has better graphics. I also have played Division. I think it's Prototype. It's a video game set in New York with shitty graphics and low score and upgrades and various open world shit. I think it's Prototype. It's not Killzone. It's Prototype. If it's not Prototype, I don't know what it is. Yeah, there we go. I played Prototype for about 2 hours. It was a shitty game. Just the general feel of everything kind of felt off. Hive genetic material. The core concept was a really good idea, though. Just killing people as a horrible monster was fun, but, you know. This was really the peak of the Brown and Bloom era. The crappy filter on everything that makes everything look just kind of brownish, you know. I hear great things about it. It's not that great. Private. This is a gun right here. Someone has a gun. Strong black shadows. Sam and Max. I mean, that's a good guess. It almost feels like Killer 7 if I just hadn't guessed it, you know? It would obviously have some really dark black shadows, so possibly comic book inspired. We just guessed Beautiful Joe. It's not Beautiful Joe. Wolf Among Us. I don't know if Wolf Among Us has this level of guns. It's supposed to be a fairy tale world. I swear it's Wolf Among Us. Constrictor, if it's not Wolf Among Us, I'm fucking timing you out for the millionth time. If it isn't time me out. We need to find a different punishment for Constrictor at this point. Wrong. Get out of here, you fucking liar. Be gone, false prophet. Ban him or no balls. He provides a very important aspect of this stream is in which somebody I can time out again and again. If I ban him, then I won't be able to continue to bully him. It's Danganronpa. I guess it is, right? Murder case. Where do we get the point redeemed to time Constrictor out? Ask the mods. 81%. Wouldn't Danganronpa be higher? Is this really Danganronpa? 2? I'll give it a try. Good guess. Got it. I guess if you actually played it, you'd remember this shit. The streamer has to add point redemptions. Mods can't do it. 5 channel points to increase 5 minutes. He'd literally be timed out to the end of the universe if everybody could do it. And it was 5 channel points to increase 5 minutes. The combined number of points would make it so that you'd time him out to the heat end of the universe. Pretty funny. It's like, yeah, 10,000 years until he gets untimed out. Monokuma, whoa, I can't believe it. Is the whole point of Dangan... See, that's what I don't like about Danganronpa. Whenever you ask anybody about Danganronpa, they only fucking talk about their beautiful waifus, right? It's all about the waifuing and shit. They just like the cute girls. Nobody actually likes the murder mysteries and stuff. But I don't want to see my waifu get brutally murdered either. So I don't know, man. I don't understand the appeal. Danganronpa is a dating sim that goes insane 10 minutes into the game. It's about despair and hope, but they use that to be supernatural somehow. A light. Is this some Sam Fisher shit? Pandora tomorrow. No. Metacritic score too old and doesn't make sense. I only know one game that doesn't make sense, and that's Deadly Premonition, but it's clearly not that. It's Gmod? Oh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fuck Gmod, I'm not a... It would be two separate words. Gmod? Gary's Mod. Oh, that's right. I forgot it was actually called Gary's Mod. There you go. Yeah, I guess this should be a pretty big giveaway. Keck W. No, Shrek! No! No, let Shrek down! Please, sir, not Shrek! That's not really a game, though, is it? Gary's Mod. Whatever. I guess we can call it a game if we want to. Alright, guys. I'm gonna end the stream here. See you around, guys. Enjoy your Gary's Mod Shrek moments. See you around. Good night.